Yes.
Hello and welcome to January 12th of our Lord and Savior. You're listening to the podcast, The Casual Hour, ostensibly about video games, but mostly about trying to play Portal 2 in 2022. I'm Bobby Pease.
I'm out.
Joining me, literally you are out, is
done.
the gamer that used to go, Chase Kinnicky, and Johnny, the most elevated gamer of them all.
Yes. Bobby, usually when you say, here we go, you expect a thing to start in like the next 3 seconds and not
It did.
15 seconds.
You're just way too elevated to understand what's going on.
Hi, Bobby. How are you?
Not as good as you, apparently. How are you?
I'm feeling much better. I was really, really sick last week.
You were sick. You're so sick that you skipped out on what would have been a really good time on Friday night.
I know we didn't get to start our factory. I had to miss the podcast, but I did not have COVID.
We had a good time. Destiny's always there to embrace us.
It's there to,
Bobby got his Halo Man gun. He felt good about it.
Cheers to you, Chase. Thank you for your help.
Sure.
I took 2 COVID tests, both negative. So, guess it was the flu or something.
What else is negative? Our opinion of Johnny.
Nice. Oh, Johnny, by the way, while you were out, being sick, I threw another 10K on the pile for missing Friday night. So,
we're being sick?
For being sick. Be better. That's what I got to tell you.
No one is ever going to be able to afford that.
Good.
I'm still halfway there. I was a little over halfway.
Just living on a prayer.
Now it's back to halfway.
Oh my God. Well, Johnny, I'm glad that you are okay. I'm not going to be nice to you, but I'm glad you're okay.
So I can continue living and you can continue mocking me.
Yes. Yeah. Well, this is payback because of you.
Okay.
I'm a garbage person who likes to build keyboards. And I'm doing that.
No.
Yep.
You can't put that one on me.
I did, and I will.
Who got the mechanical keyboard first? You or me?
You.
It was me, wasn't I?
Wasn't I? Yes. God, Johnny.
Wow.
Jesus Christ. Okay. So tonight, Johnny, follow me.
I wish I was elevated right now.
Right here. We're going to be talking about some video games and a little bit of the news around them and what we've been playing. There's some... I'm really excited about a few games that you've got listed here. Chase, this is interesting.
Yeah.
You don't have anything listed.
I don't. Pass.
He's got games.
Okay.
I mean, what do you want to hear about? Do you want to hear more about the 755 hours that I put into Animal Crossing?
No.
Do you want to hear about the latest character I got in Super Robot Wars 30? You don't.
Okay. All right. No, I don't.
All right.
What do you want? I've been playing some stuff on my Pocket. I can't really talk about it because I'm gonna do a Gamers on the Go episode about it.
I really don't want to unpack this here, but I do just want to say when you and I streamed Halo and we were wrapping it up, we were talking about Monday night and trying to get our new series ready to go for Mondays, which is you and I playing through Portal 2. That ended up being a house of cards that we're trying to build on some very shifting sands, and we'll save that because I think that'll be a fun way to start off that series.
So fun!
But we're going to try and get that up and running. All right, look, we're going to keep moving forward here, Chase. If you don't want to talk about anything, I will gladly step up and kick us off tonight.
Yeah, we'll have a short show tonight. That'll be great.
All right. Well, I have been playing a little game. Hot brand new game. You've never heard of it probably. It's called
Fresh from 2012.
Was it 2012 really? I don't think it was that far away.
I don't think it was that long ago.
I've been playing Dying Light. And
is this your first time?
This is my very first time playing Dying Light.
2015.
2015. So
look, Dying Light's the parkour zombie one?
Mm-hmm. It is.
Okay. What's Dead by Daylight?
That is a horror game.
Okay.
I think it's almost like a movie, I think, because you make choices in different acts, and then it changes the outcome of the story.
Okay. They all blend together for me.
So, yes. I started playing this, to Chat's point here. I started playing this before all the news broke. And I was like, you don't got a lot of time if you're going to be setting aside 500 hours. And no, so my cousin who was in a group with Johnny and I was talking about like how much he loved Dying Light, and he's like, I got the second one pre-ordered, and he's like, hey, it's in, because he and I do game share. He's like, I got a copy of it in Steam if you want to give it a shot. I was like, you know what? Like, I remember seeing that game come out, and I thought it looked pretty cool at the time.
It's really cool.
And I remember
it's a very cool game.
Yeah, and people were pretty hot on it when it was out. And there's a guy at work who's always talking to me about Dying Light 2, and he's like, I'm like, dude, I've never played the first one. And so I told him I would get around to it, and one night I decided to fire it up. And you know what? That game's pretty fucking neat. It's a lot different than what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was just kind of like you're running from zombies, and it was like Mirror's Edge. But there's some depth to what's going on with it. A lot of survival craft in that game as well. There's a really cool loot system. And I think the combat is pretty good for being like a melee focused first person game. It has a great feel to it. I do think that 500 hours is a really daunting number to throw around a video game, but it looks, and we'll talk about it later on in the casual report.
We'll get into it. Yeah.
But so far, like, there's some early Bethesda elements I'm seeing there. Definitely some Mirror's Edge stuff. I think some early Chase frowns.
You said Bethesda. Ugh.
You play some pretty broken things yourself. I'm not here to defend Bethesda, but you know, Fallout New Vegas is something that you talk a lot about in a very high regard. Sure. I like that.
My problem with Bethesda is only partially about how broken their games are. I also just don't think they're very good.
So structurally speaking here, and I think the way that you kind of get some of the deadpan, like monologue, zoom in on somebody that you're talking to, the lock picking, being first person with some melee, like those are the elements that I'm drawing inspiration from here. Far Cry 3 is another one that like I would see some elements of in this game.
Yeah.
And I think that ultimately it's a game that I probably would have enjoyed a hell of a lot in 2015 had I been playing it then. But I'm enjoying my time with it right now. I doubt I get through this. And I don't know if I'm going to pick up 2 right away, but with the library share that I got going on there, I might check that out and see.
Yeah, you can always just give it a test. Have you been out at night?
I have been out right when it got pretty dark, and there was something watching me going to this safe house that I made that did not look like the other things I had seen.
Yep.
And like, I'm like trying to get into the house, and this thing's literally like, what you doing over there?
Uh-huh.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, just open the fucking door and get inside here.
Just let me in. Yeah. It's, man, I'm pretty sure that there's a mission where you have to be out at night. And I quit playing the game shortly after that because I am a coward and I don't handle horror games very well.
Yeah.
And there's a definite like cocksuredness about yourself when you're running around in the day. Because like, fuck you.
Right.
I'm over here parkouring from building to building. You're not going to get me. And then as soon as the sun goes down, you realize how vulnerable you are. And it's extremely tense trying to get to a safe space before full nightfall. So it's a really cool game.
Yeah, I like the safe houses. One of the things that I think is really cool about this that I'm probably pretty late to is that this whole thing was co-op. You could play this whole thing co-op. I think that would be really cool in this setting.
Yeah, I think I played some of it with my my cousin.
So we'll see. Like I mean, I'm not going to give like this super late hot take on Dying Light. I mean, obviously people have a pretty big affinity for the game, but the sequel has definitely hit the news streams as of late. I think there's something cool about that sequel, and I am optimistic about it. Like, I'll keep an eye on it. There's enough coming out in February to keep me busy, but Dying Light 2 could be something I pick up this year based off of my enjoyment of Dying Light so far. But let me get to what you really want to hear about. You know, as we talk about games that could or could not take 500 hours or suck your life away.
Sure.
Been playing a little game.
I don't understand What happened?
Called Super Auto Pets. I'll tell you what fucking happened. Chase happened. And
Chase hasn't even played this game.
Chase doesn't have to play this game anymore.
That's true.
He's taken on an apprentice, Johnny, and it's me.
This is such a weird thing to see.
I just taught Bobby what good games were, and now he has gone off and decided that he wants to play good games from now on.
And funny enough, if Pierce is still in chat, because Pierce was on with us when we did that quick look for Pokemon. What was that Pokemon game called?
Unite.
Pokemon Unite. I don't know if this would be in his wheelhouse or if he has any desire to play this or if he's heard of it. But Super Auto Pets is a weird... The good Pokemon game. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Just keeping us honest here on the show.
Yes.
I don't really know what other game to compare Super Auto Pets to. Like, it's an auto chess game. I don't have a lot of experience with those myself. But I'd heard some people talking about this game. It's free to play. It's here on Steam. I had the means to do it. And there's a lot to unpack with this, from spending gold to building out a team and learning what impact these animals have on each other. From like, hey, you put this pig in your lineup, but you can sell that pig and get extra gold. Or, hey, if this mosquito starts off, it's going to actually attack right away. Or this ant, if this ant dies, or cockroach, whatever it was, it's going to come back as a ghost. And like, there's these really fucking weird rules that are playing there. And the game, on the surface, it makes it seem like it's very approachable, very simple. It looks like an E-Bombs World Flash game.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then
that's how they ensnare you, Bobby.
Well, usually I thought it was with scantily clad anime women, but this is apparently the other way to do it. Where
I mean, hey, that's
farm animals.
Man, what if they sold skins for that game? Just
give me a sexy ant.
Thought.
And so I will say that there's some interesting strategy that starts to unwind in this game. And last night we were all trying to solve this problem with Portal 2 for Chase in our Discord. And then Chase is like, you know what? Fuck it. I just want to watch you play a video game, or can we find a game to play? And we tried a different game. I'm like, hey, before you go, let me fire this up. Johnny left because Johnny leaves, and Chase and
I noticed that neither of you have that other game on your lists of what you've been playing. You guys don't want to talk about that? Weird. It's almost like the game you played was fucking bad.
It was a bad.
It's almost like that.
I try to keep it somewhat positive. Like, I don't want to shit on things too hard here. Besides Johnny,
yeah,
we played the Alien Fire Team.
Alien.
It was bad. It's bad. It's a bad game.
It wasn't good.
Not good.
Like, I don't know. It didn't feel good.
It felt real bad.
And I don't know.
It felt so bad that it made me want to fire up a flash-based auto chess game. But Chase, you and I played a few rounds of that last night, and it started to click with me a little bit. Like, some of these things would work out. Like, okay, if I place this animal here, like, by the time something happens, like, I can stack all kinds of crazy shit onto this, and it became highly addictive, which is a bad thing for a game like this to be.
I mean, I imagine, and this might be what actually sells Pierce on this experience, it feels a little bit like Monster Train. Yeah. Except, like, it's only one level.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to worry about the different levels of train, but the idea that all these things have interactions with each other, they're giving each other health, they're giving each other strength. It's got kind of a Magic Gathering style system where it has an attack health on either side. It's pretty good. And on one hand, it's a simplified auto chess kind of setup, but on the other hand, it's more like it's narrow, but it's deep.
Yeah.
It's just got a lot of stuff going on. Unfortunately, what it doesn't have going on is a Mac version or a Switch version or an iOS version. So I'm shit out of luck and cannot play this, at least until Steam Deck comes around.
What I did tonight that I haven't done for a while?
Did you buy the extra pets?
No, I had a while back picked up a Kindle Fire tablet or Amazon Fire tablet, whatever this thing is. And it literally, it's been legit dead for a while. But I did fire it up, and I'm going to put it on here so I have another way to play that game.
So you're telling me you still have a Kindle, but you don't have an Xbox anymore?
No, I do have an Xbox. I've got it on my PC.
Yeah, your PC can't play Portal 2 with my Xbox.
We should clip this because I've not had anything from Chase ever encouraging anybody to play an Xbox. Since
I love the Xbox 360. It's a great system.
My hot take is buy an Xbox, everybody. They're a great system. Or build a PC.
You did take your own advice. Buy an Xbox.
PC. I can play all these games.
On an Xbox.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I can also play Portal 2. We just can't play together.
So, Super Auto Pets, free-to-play game. More to come. I think that depending on what happens with this Portal series, we might be checking out Super Auto Pets at minimum as a quick look, but probably we'll do a Monday night stream for Casual Mondays with that. We're going to try really hard to get this Portal series off the ground. But a few of the things that we want to do, and we'll talk more about this as we're wrapping up tonight, but it's just getting our wires crossed the right way. And so we might have to wait for some new hardware to enter the scene, like a Steam Deck or something this year, before we can do some of this stuff. But we're going to try really hard this weekend to get Chase set up to where we can do that. But Super Auto Pets, if you have the means to check it out, Android or PC, you should definitely check it out. It's a neat little fucking thing.
I downloaded it. I have not played it yet.
It is free to play.
Okay.
Yeah.
But there is like what is it, like $5 for the extra pets pack?
They've got like a pretty decent amount of free things that you can get, but $5 gets you like another tier of pets that you can have there. Another thing that I just got to check out today, and I've talked a lot about it on here, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time talking about the game, but just more from the technicality of it. But Monster Hunter Rise launched on PC today, and
yes, it did.
The second best Monster Hunter game of 2021, as voted on by the Casual Hour.
It's in stone. We can't argue with it.
Not my vote. Not my Monster Hunter.
What I will say is this: that game looks so damn good in comparison, right? And the load times are really helpful for that game. The only thing I can complain about at this point is that I really wish that they had some sort of like cross save functionality to where you could still take it with you. It's a bummer that I have to start over all my progress from Rise here, but it does feel better playing it there than it does on the Switch, and
yes, sir.
I'm really excited about it. Pierce is asking in chat what kind of rig I am running, and I have a PC that I built 2 years ago and have updated a little bit in that time frame, but I've got an NVIDIA Founders Edition 3080, and I've got a AMD 5900X CPU, and I've got 32 gigs of RAM. It is liquid cooled, and got a couple capture cards in there that we run the show off of when we do things there. And
exactly how much RGB is inside of that computer?
Inside and out, Johnny. It's got RGB underneath it.
That's where the real performance.
That's where the cooling comes in, because it's super cool, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And I use an NZXT case, and I've got their fans.
Pierce, why would you do this?
But the other fun thing I've gotten into, Pierce, is
don't ask him what his keyboard is.
I've gotten into building keyboards too, so we can talk about that sometime.
Yeah, we both have custom keyboards that we built. I have a computer that I built 2 years ago too, actually. And that Monster Hunter game looks so nice on PC, Bobby.
The last thing I will say, Pierce, I just got a new monitor as well, which I'm really excited about. It's I got a nice 4K monitor now for some of these games, which is great. Johnny, lay it out there, man.
Oh, I've got a Ryzen 5 3600, a Gigabyte Vision 3080 Ti.
I can just go to bed.
And those are the important pieces. It's also liquid cooled, an NZXT case. I've got little toys I keep inside of it that I look at and make me happy.
I am also liquid cooled.
Yes, you are.
It's Johnny. We talk about this a lot off pod, but like I think it's one of the like best things I've done was making the commitment to building this PC. Like we talked about it for a long time.
He's so upset.
I thought we were here to have a fun time.
Hey, stop talking about fucking robots and welcome to the real world, Chase.
I didn't even talk about robots. I skipped my turn.
Yeah, you know how long I waited to build a computer. So when it finally happened, it was great. I waited. I was so excited when the pieces got shipped to me and got delivered. I went to FedEx to pick it up rather than wait for it to be delivered to me. The case, because it was the last piece I needed. It's great.
But Chase, what we have talked about for you is you've had early stages of talking about potentially moving. You've begun the discussion that if you were to move into a place to accommodate, you would probably have an office with a PC in it, and you would hire a BJ custom.
Yeah.
Copyright.
One BJ coming right up. Mm-hmm.
You know, the BJ customs that we would be putting out here at the Casual Hour. It would be great, and that's what we're here to do. Yeah. So when you're ready,
I'm sure it would blow me away.
People seem to like what we do. What can I say? So yeah, Pierce, thanks for asking. That is the rig. That's what we're doing here. Having a great time with it. And Monster Hunter Rise on PC is a really great port. I did a few hunts this morning, and it's very nice. Very, very nice.
It's great. Cool.
Johnny.
Is that all? Yeah.
Besides floating around over there, what are you going to talk about?
I finished Guardians of the Galaxy on the PS5.
All right.
And that game absolutely deserved to win Best Narrative last year at the Game Awards.
People are very high on it. I've enjoyed what I played.
Johnny is very high.
Yes, he is.
No, it has some of the best writing I think I've ever seen in a game before. The moments that they're able to bring about with these characters, and like I did not care about and was completely disinterested in this, like when it was announced and through the marketing and stuff. And I happened to have the chance to play it with my buddy who I game share with on PlayStation. And I was like, okay, yeah, let's give this a shot. And I really, really like this game. The combat is, like I said, it's a little mundane, a little boilerplate, but the writing is just fantastic. There was a couple moments that actually made me like tear up, like towards the end of the story. So,
and you're not a big fan of, like, you and Chase both. I would say, like, out of our show.
I mean, I've seen and enjoyed all of those movies.
Yeah, but you've made a lot of comments, not nearly.
I got really tired of.
Yeah, you and Chase are both like over it.
And it wasn't until like more recently, as my son has gotten older, that I've gone back and watched like the last half of those movies that I missed because I just stopped caring.
I mean, I've watched 2 Marvel movies in the last week.
Yeah, sure.
Spider-Man and Venom Let There Be Carnage, which, gotta say, one of those movies was not very good. You could probably guess which one.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Misery. That's what you've chosen, Chase.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I am just completely surprised by how much I love this game. Bobby, I think I want you to finish it because I want to talk to you about what happens in the story.
Yeah, I think I'm maybe at the halfway point.
Okay. I
think, right?
It's probably like 15, 20 hours, I think.
I'm probably just shy of the 50% mark.
Cool. The only other thing I've been playing aside from my Analog Pocket, which I played a shit ton of Pokemon last week while I was sick, laying up on the couch watching movies. I just playing Pokemon. But the other new game that I've been playing is Shovel Knight Pocket Edition on my Nintendo Switch. And do you guys play Shovel Knight?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
I like it a whole lot.
I've only played vanilla original Shovel Knight. I didn't play any of the DLCs or
with any of the other knights or anything.
I've played the DLCs. I haven't beaten all of them.
I have the Treasure Trove edition or whatever on the Switch. I just haven't played any of it.
I didn't play the card game either.
I played a good amount of it on the 3DS. And I own it on Switch. I just haven't really played much of it. So it's a puzzle game, and you are controlling a knight. You start out with Shovel Knight, and then you unlock more knights as you progress. But you have these characters that are falling, and they have a set amount of hit points, or you have like a sand block or a brick block or something like that. And basically, you're trying to link as many of them together as you can before you get rid of all their HP. And it's like Tetris or other puzzle games where like if it fills up and you don't, it game over. You have to start over.
It's got a really good look to it.
Yeah, I love the art style. The music is really, really good. The animations are as amusing as they were in the other Shovel Knight games. And I haven't had like a full run that I've been successful in yet. But it really lets you tweak the difficulty. So you can have it so like if you die once, that's it. Your run's over. You have to start at the beginning. You can give yourself infinite lives. And there's some other, like it really lets you tweak the gameplay for your skill level, I guess, or how easy or difficult you want it to be. But one of the cool things is that you unlock new knights.
Mm-hmm.
So Shovel Knight is the default character, and each of these has a skill. So playing with them is a little bit different. So Shovel Knight, fatal blows do extra damage, chains, and he finds more potions. You get to Spectre Knight.
Spectre Knight's really cool.
You slay, and when you kill enemies, it restores your HP, and potions do damage to you. So that really changes the way that you might approach a level. Plague Knight poisons your foes, so he goes forwards once, and then as he moves, it does damage to the enemies. And I don't know, like all the...
Are you moving around like a board in this, or is it more stationary?
Yeah,
okay.
It's a board. You're moving from like square to square.
Got it.
And like if you're standing still, the pieces fall slower, and when you move, they move with you.
Got it.
So if you're standing still, pieces are still coming down. So you can't just stand there and like think about what you want to do forever. Like there still is a clock ticking. Yeah, I think the two of you guys, love puzzle games. I think that you would really, really enjoy this one. So check it out.
Yeah, I feel a little bad that I spent my my Christmas gift of $20 eShop credit on Banners of Ruin for the Switch instead of on this. I think I probably would have.
Is there a way to get a refund on that?
No, of course not. But I mean, it's $20. I could just pop it down.
Like I know, Bobby, you sent a Steam link. I think the Switch is
a good place to play.
Perfect home for that. Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
It's very much I'm going to sit on the couch for 30 minutes or whatever and play this game.
I'll pick that up. I had my eye on it for a while. I'm glad to hear that it didn't disappoint.
Yeah, and this is the last Shovel Knight thing that Yacht Club's going to do, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's it.
I assume other than like maybe like licensing him out to other games.
Right.
So yeah.
I mean, I really like what they've done with Shovel Knight, and they've made some cool games. I'm also just looking forward to whatever they do next that would be different, because it seems like they kind of hit on this concept and then that's all they've done.
That's all they've ever done.
Yep.
Yeah,
so I kind of want to see them move forward and try something new, because I bet that would be really exciting.
Yeah, I'm very eager to see whatever that team does next.
Absolutely.
Cool. Cool. I guess that takes us to the news.
Okay, let's fire it up, man.
A little casual report. Bobby, you and I both had PSVRs.
Wow. I just want to say, what a great overlay, Bobby.
Yeah, really nice.
Hey, we got a new one. We're trying to make
new year,
new casual hour. Trying to be a little bit more same old bullshit. But yeah, we got a new overlay here for the news, and we sent out a couple weeks ago, a couple new logos for different segments we do here, and this is one of those and one of the new overlays.
Excellent work, Bobby.
Thank you.
Per usual. So yeah, Bobby, you and I, we both bought PSVRs, right?
Yes, we had PSVRs.
Yeah, and I think in terms of comfort, it was probably the most comfortable headset I've ever worn.
Yeah.
Although the Oculus is comfortable too. And it did some stuff that was really cool, but it also felt like it was absolutely hindered by the thing that it was attached to. I mean, you're using PlayStation Move controls and relying on a shitty camera that came with it.
Yep.
But still, like it sold really well. Super Hot was incredible.
Super Hot. That's all you need.
Astrobot was a really cool experience.
Yeah.
So, and Sony has said, I think around the time the PS5 launched, they announced that they said, yes, VR might be something we do in the future, but they were pretty vague about it for a while, if I recall.
Yeah, they were teasing a lot of stuff with like logo and like schematics, but
they never said. Yeah, they never came out and said no, but they also never really came out and said yes.
They did stop doing like for a while. It might be back right now. That might have been a one thing off for for Christmas, but they were doing with their PlayStation Plus. You got a PS3 game, you got a PS4 game, and you got a PSVR game every month.
Yeah,
and they kind of stopped that too.
Yeah, it was cool. So, having said all that, they announced the PSVR 2 last week, and this thing sounds pretty freaking cool.
Can I
I gotta say,
can I talk about where I feel it's cool and where it's not?
Sure.
So I think the hardware specs are phenomenal. I don't see how they don't go up in price from where they were at with both the PSVR 1.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they've done stuff in the past with their ecosystem that doesn't make it have to be tethered to another device in that ecosystem.
Right.
And I think that there's enough interest in VR that they could say like, hey, here's a standalone PlayStation VR headset.
And it works on PC.
It can work with PC, sure, but it also is something that has like the PlayStation Store baked into it to where you don't have to have a PlayStation to play this.
Like you can just buy the PSVR.
Correct. And just like you could have bought a Vita and you could have used it as like a remote play device for your PlayStation, it would make more sense to have something that didn't have to be tethered to hardware that's still hard as hell to get. Today they announced that they're also going to continue production of PlayStation 4, even though you can't buy them because there's still needs for it. And I understand it on one hand because again, like that they want that halo effect. They want people to buy one of these for the other. And I get that. Yep. And I think that the games where they've had some cool concepts, like I think about that Falcon Age game. You could play that on a PlayStation 4 and it was fine, or you could play it on VR and you had the game on both platforms. But I think that if you were able to say like, hey, here's a 64 gig PSVR headset that allows you to not be tethered and have the freedom and potentially use it as a headset that you can hook up to PC gaming, it would be a bigger win. Like people are a little bit more familiar with the brand there than they are like a Vive. Like if somebody said PlayStation VR or Vive, I think they might know PlayStation VR from a naming convention more than a Vive.
Yeah, sure.
So it seems weird to me that they wouldn't do that, but who am I to like make that call or even like weigh in on it this heavily? Like I have an Oculus Quest. I think it's the biggest part of that to me is just the freedom of like, I don't have to be plugged in anything. I can play that thing in a room that has more space for me if I want to, or I can hook it up to a PC if there's a game that I want to check out that way. Those are things that are I think are really interesting in that space right now.
Yeah, I just, that would be unlike Sony to do something like that. I think, even though you could make a really strong argument that maybe they should do it another way. But I mean, all the hardware sounds really impressive, like 4K,
eye tracking.
Yep, and we didn't get a date or a price or anything like that. It was just, hey, we're making this thing. So yeah, I'm interested to see what else they say about it. I know that people were able to mod the original PSVR to work with PC.
Yep, there's some software you can get.
I would assume there'd be a scene like that for this.
Maybe.
But yeah, I'm definitely interested to hear more from that. All right. Hey guys, how long have we been talking about how much longer E3 needs to exist?
It's already dead.
It hasn't been going great right now.
Yeah. So E3's long, slow death throes.
Not that any video game conventions seem to be doing okay.
Mm-hmm.
But
E3 especially.
E3 especially.
Yeah. So it announces another online-only event for this summer. And I don't know. Like, I feel like this might be it. Like, this might be the last year there's ever anything that's E3 that happens. What do you guys think?
I don't know.
I think the name recognition alone is going to keep it going in some form or fashion.
Yeah, it'd be like a THQ Nordic type situation, possibly. Like,
I guess so. Like just like a zombie kind of thing, where somebody's just taking the name.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't think it's ever going to get back to its former glory, or even like the glory it had 2, 3, 4 years ago. But I think the name is something like I could totally see Jeff Keighley eventually going, "Hey, what if I just bought that E3 name off you at one point?" And then his summer show just gets to be called E3 and he owns it. I could totally see something like that.
He announced Summer Game Fest the very same day.
Of course, absolutely. Like you counter program the fuck out of that because it's easy. It's so easy to counter program against.
Yep.
You know what? And I'm saying this for anybody listening, you know, in the chat or beyond. The PAX people should just buy the name E3 and say, "Fuck it, we own E3 now."
There you go.
PAX 3, baby.
I don't know what you do with it, but you should just have the name.
Just own it.
You can't do anything worse than what E3 has been doing to itself.
God. Cool. All right. Well, we mentioned this a little bit whenever Bobby was talking about Dying Light 1. But the devs put out this tweet saying that Dying Light 2 will take 500 hours to fully complete. And people were confused by that, I guess. I don't know. It seems like this should have been a non-story. Like, you know, common sense would tell you there's probably like a 20-hour campaign.
Yeah, like what a bunch of side shit, a bunch of repeatable bounties or whatever. Like there's all sorts of ways to just say, yeah, you could put 500 hours into this game if you wanted to.
Yeah.
But nobody in their right mind should think that Dying Light 2 is going to be a 500-hour
going to have the longest story ever told in video games.
Well, probably not ever, but yeah, it'd be up there.
Yeah, it's so silly.
So it's not 500 hours, is what I'm hearing.
If you collect every artifact, if you explore every area of the map, if you I think the devs put a blog post or something out saying like, yes, if you do these things, it can take you this long to finish.
This is like when a dev goes like, "Oh, we have 10 million words of text in our game."
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, but I'm not going to read all of them. But I'm going to see a super small subset of that 10 million.
Yeah.
It was interesting the days following on the internet after that graphic went up of like the 3 time slots for this game. Look, I know games have gotten absurdly long in years past, and I know that games are also moving to like live services, which never seems to turn off a game. Like it's just infinite. But like this whole like fuck it because it's long mentality, like I could argue the same way that there's like fuck it because it's short, like it's not worth this much. We've had that conversation on the show before too. Like when I hit a stride with a game that like is a pretty healthy chunk of time, like there's nothing like it. I love it. It's fantastic. If there's a game that can go past the 20-hour mark and keep me that invested, or better yet, like something like a Destiny that dangles a carrot after a carrot after a carrot, like the carrots they keep putting on there. I mean, Chase, like, I don't know how you have the staying power for Animal Crossing that you do, but like even hearing your hour count on a game like that like I know the daily stuff doesn't take very long on that game, and the tool set is not as robust as what like other city builders are, you know, like to hear you.
Yeah, I mean, the reason it takes so long is because the reason I have so much time into it is because those tools aren't as quick as you'd want them to be. And so if you want to, level out an island, that's going to take you tens of hours of work to, destroy all the trees, to break all the rocks, to then try to level off stuff and have to do it in a way that it's not going to piss off the game, because it's not as easy to just say, hey, demolish the whole island and let me just start from scratch. It won't give you an option like that.
I guess for me, the whole thing that like I saw a few other people putting up stuff about like yuck or whatever. I'm like, that's fine, you know, but like at the end of the day, like who gives a shit?
Different people have different needs, for sure.
Right.
Like there's people out there who are like, I don't have the money to spend on a bunch of new games every single month, every single week. So you know what sounds good to me? Buying one game that I know I can
play forever.
For sure.
Yeah,
absolutely. And other people, I know we're in this position a lot, being podcasters who feel like we need to bring something new each week to the podcast. I think we overvalue short games because they're something that we can just kind of get in, get out, have on our list, and then talk about the next week. Those feel great to us. But and then of course there are people in the middle. There are people who play Destiny as like a service thing, and that's just all they do, and they give it little bits of money at a time. There's mobile players who do kind of the same thing as a Destiny thing, but probably give their money in slightly different ways at slightly different frequencies. And it's good that all those options are out there for people, but and even a same game can do multiple things for multiple people. Some people play Destiny for like an hour a week, and that's all they do, and they don't need to buy a bunch of extra shit. And some people are putting tens of hours in Destiny all the time and meeting up with friends and buying all the new skins and shit that come out every single week.
It's
thing in between.
There's never been more ways to play games. Now I'll say, like, I know that I mentioned when I was talking about this, like, I don't know if I'm even gonna get this game because there's a lot of other things coming out that month. Dying Light 2, I think, will be a really cool game, and I like the idea that there's a world that you could live in that much. That's kind of neat to me. Like, even if I don't spend 500 hours there, like, to know that there's probably a pretty good return on my time investment. Like, if I put an hour into it, like, there's at least going to be stuff to do. But as we talk about games on the show and the podcast curse, like, I think the last time I spent over 100 hours with a game that was a singular story was probably Persona 5.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Is the podcast curse you having to do this podcast with me for the last 5.5 years?
It's a different but no less powerful curse.
Great.
Johnny, what else we got here?
Finally. You guys remember when they announced that Kirby open world game last year?
I do.
And I personally was like, oh, that would be great to play at the end of next year. Well, turns out we won't have to wait that long because it's coming out March 25th. And they put out a new trailer today. And it shows some gameplay as co-op.
It does have co-op.
And
yeah, I mean, they've definitely moved to a Kirby as a co-op thing recently, for sure.
Okay.
Especially on home consoles.
It's open world, and it looks like Kirby is exploring all these. I don't know if post-apocalyptic is the right word.
I wonder how open world it is. I wonder if it's more like a Mario Odyssey, where you are going from place to place and you have like these open sandboxes, these smaller open sandboxes.
This very curated area for you to explore.
Because there was a part in that trailer where Kirby's on like the superstar or whatever, and it bounces to a different place. And I can see that being the same kind of thing as Mario's spaceship thing for the Odyssey.
Yep. Either way, I'm very excited to check that out.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
Yeah. And that was all the news.
Hot damn, we might.
They didn't make any more of it.
That was the news.
Ever again.
I mean, we did mention Destiny. There was a new Witch Queen trailer that showed up.
Haven't watched that yet.
It's fine. There's stuff. It looks neat. I want to play with some of those weapons.
Johnny, thank you for taking us to that casual report. Much appreciated.
No problem.
Chase, you said it. We were going to have a short episode, and we might actually hit a casual hour tonight, which feels pretty good. So let's talk about the week behind us and the week ahead of us here. So Monday night, Chase, you and I, we had a good time, right? That was fun.
Yeah, I had a fun time. I know we had some differences that we had to work through, a little couples counseling, but we got there.
Yeah.
And Banners of Ruin, when you play it on a computer and not on a Switch, it's not a bad game.
It's a pretty alright game. There's some cool stuff there, but I think, we talked a little bit about it earlier with Pierce playing Monster Train. It's if I had to tell somebody to play one of those games, it'd probably be Monster Train. And that's
well, if I was going to play a roguelike deck builder, it'd be Fights in Tight Spaces.
100%. 100%.
But yes, Monster Train is also people should play.
So Monday night we played Banners of Ruin. Go back and check out that video on demand. It's here on Twitch. It's over on youtube.com/casual hour. If you want to follow along with that, you can follow that link in chat. We put up a quick look that Chase took us through on Tuesday, which was a really great time for Wordle, that viral sensation that you've probably seen on your Twitter feed. So go, if you want to know how to play it, some strategies, what not to do, what to do, we've got an easy to get through 10-ish, 15-minute look at that game over on our YouTube channel. Chase did a really nice job walking through that. Tonight, we told you about the games that we've been playing and the news around them. Tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Central, we got a brand new quick look going up for a game called Mind Scanners. It's the same studio that brought you Yes, Your Grace, and this is a really fucking cool dystopian world that's got some arcade-style WarioWare mind tools, and it's got a fucking style to it.
Very good look to it, yeah.
It's got a real good look. Check that out tomorrow at 9 a.m. That game's also on Game Pass, so you can play it there. Currently on PC, but I do know that there's plans for consoles. Oh, sorry, it is on consoles now. That was PC only. It hit Game Pass. It's on Switch, it's on Xbox, and it's on PC. So you can check it out on any of those places. And if Johnny can stay healthy, Friday night will be the kicking off of our new series, Unsatisfactory, where Johnny and I fire up the BJ factory and start mining away and building out all those resources to get that space elevator and ride it all the way to the top. So we'll be hanging out
to the
moon, as they say. Hopefully never on our show again.
Donks.
Stop it. Friday night though, 10:30 p.m. You can hang out with Johnny and I, and maybe Chase will be in chat. Who knows? As we play Satisfactory. Chase, you and Johnny have been doing some shit too, and you tease some gamers on the go. So what's up?
Yeah, there's lots of news happening there. Johnny and I have a pretty busy weekend and next week ahead of us. We've got a Analog Pocket episode of Gamers on the Go coming out relatively soon. We'll record that and see when we can get it out. But
TBD.
looking forward to that. We also played some Game Boy sports games along with that Analog Pocket, so we'll have some games to talk about as well. But we're going to mainly be focusing on the hardware of the Pocket and how fucking cool that thing is. And then also on my YouTube channel, Chase K Plays, Johnny and I have been doing our first ever Nuzlocke. And we've been using the new Pokemon game, or the new old Pokemon games, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. And we've been collecting badges. We haven't lost any Pokemon yet, which we're bound to lose something here soon. But that's been fun. Like we've never done a Nuzlocke before, and it's an interesting way to play that game. And it's been a good time. So you can watch the 6 episodes of that are up right now. And we'll be recording number 7 relatively soon. And last thing, breaking news. The most breaking of news. I just put out a new post on gamersonthego.com that has just some randomy kind of thoughts about some games that I liked in 2021. So I'll put that in the chat there. I didn't really do like a game of the year podcast for Gamers on the Go, and I didn't really do a traditional top 10 list, but these are just some games that I thought were interesting, and I guess you could say most of them are on handheld / mobile platforms. So whatever, they're out there. But that was a good time writing that tonight and getting that posted. So you can check that out there.
Very cool. And we'll say hello to Jedi. Welcome to the chat, friend. Sorry,
Hi, Jedi.
We didn't have you here earlier, man. We're a short show tonight. We got through the content that we need to get through. So come back Friday night. Tune into our quick look for Mind Scanners tomorrow. And then next week, we'll be posting up our schedule, but we may or may not be playing Portal on Monday night.
We'll play. How about this? We'll play a Portal game. Okay. We'll just have to figure out which one.
we will figure out a way to play a Portal game on Monday night here at the Casual Hour. Everybody, please be safe. Thanks for tuning in, and we will talk to you all very soon. Take care.
Bye.